Welcome in. Okay, so if you have been mistreated, lied to, lied about, cheated, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Basically, if you're at the point now, after so long of being mistreated, that you just don't trust anyone, your walls are so high. You just don't let anybody in. You don't care anymore. You just don't trust anybody. Then this message is for you. Okay? I have for you, it came from an intentional dream that I had. It was a personal one, but the message that I got, I felt needed to be shared. I'm not going to tell you what the dream was, and I'm not going to tell you what the whole interpretation was, because that's mine. But what I was recommended to do to regain trust, because I was in that boat too, and still am. I'm working on it. So I wanted to share what my intentional dream recommended to me for helping me rebuild the ability to let walls down a little bit. Okay? To be able to gain trust. Because I don't know about you, but I found I couldn't trust anybody anymore, because just when I thought I could, they'd do something that showed mistrust. So I was fed up. And I'm sure if you're like me, you are too. So I have notes. This is 7 practical trust tests that you can do when you meet new people, so that you can gauge whether you can trust them or not. Okay? Now, let me tell you right from the beginning, a red flag on any of these does not necessarily mean cut them off. No, you're done, finished. Okay? This is for gathering data on the people that you hang around with or whatever. Okay? So that then you can decide. Okay? This is for your own discernment. I'm just sharing what was recommended through my intentional dream for me to learn how to let down some walls again and learn to trust people. Okay? So, 7 practical trust tests. Number 1, boundary acknowledgement test. Okay? And what you do is you state a small, clear preference or a limit. Examples: I'm not up for talking about that today. Or I need a bit of quiet time this afternoon. Or I'm keeping that private for now. So these are small statements or preferences that you can express to whoever it is you're doing a trust test on. And what you watch for in their reply is, okay, so a healthy reply is got it, or no problem, or that makes sense. Okay, that's a healthy reaction to one of those examples. A yellow flag reaction is repeated questions later. So you might have said, I'm not up for talking about that today. And then later on today, they ask you that question again. Okay? A red flag response is guilt, jokes about it, that you're not up for it, pressure, minimizing, oh, it's not a big deal, or sulking. Okay? Red flags there. And why this works is because people who cannot respect small boundaries will not respect the big ones. All right? So that's your practical test number 1. That was boundary acknowledgement. Number 2, the container test. What you do is you share something low impact but slightly personal. Okay? An example of this might be, I've been tired lately, or I'm focusing on simplifying things, or I'm reevaluating some priorities. Okay? Again, these are just examples. You make it fit you. Now, this is what you watch for as a response to something like that. A healthy response, they will listen. It doesn't embellish it and doesn't retell it. Okay. A yellow flag is over advice or over curiosity. Okay. For example, I've been tired lately, as the one example of what you can say. And over advice, or maybe you need more sleep, or over curiosity, why would you be so tired? You see what I mean? Now, that's not over advice, but over advice means overdoing it. Okay? Now, a red flag on that would be retelling your words to others. So-and-so is like really tired lately. See what I mean? Or dramatizing it. Ooh, I wonder what they're tired about. Ooh. Or reframing your story. I bet you I know why they're tired. See what I'm getting at? They're talking about you, about that little personal thing that you let on to them, and it was a test. All right. So why this works? Well, this tests whether someone can hold information without using it. Right? Can they keep a secret? That's how you test with little things like that. If they can't keep a secret, then you don't have to trust them. Okay? Number 3, the no-fix test. What you do, mention something neutral but unresolved. So an example of this might be, I'm still figuring out a few things, or I don't have an answer on that yet. Okay? Something like that. What you watch for when you give an answer like that, a healthy reaction is they allow ambiguity. Like, it's okay. That's all right. You'll figure it out when it's time, type of response. Okay? A yellow flag pushes solutions that you didn't ask for. Okay? Tries to fix it right away, even though you didn't ask for the advice. A red flag is they insist on that you're doing something wrong, or you need their guidance, like shoving it down your throat. You should do it this way. You can't do it that way. You should do it this way. Okay? And why this works? Untrustworthy people often need control disguised as help. All right? They're not trying to help you. They're trying to control you. And those are your flags. Okay, number 4, the delay test. Now, what do? You have to pause before responding to a request or a message. Okay? An example of this would be, wait a few hours before replying to a text or returning a call. All right? Don't jump as soon as they say jump. All right? Give it a few hours. Another example would be, if you have to let them know, say, I'll get back to you on that. Okay? Don't answer. Don't respond right away. Just say, I'll get back to you on that. All right? And then what you watch for after you've done that, a healthy response is happily patient. No problem. A yellow flag response is repeated follow-ups every few minutes. Are you available yet? Can you talk to me yet? Repeated texts, hey, how come you're not responding, right? A red flag, urgency, pressure, emotional manipulation. You must hate me if you're not responding. Why are you ignoring me? See? I'm sorry if the lighting keeps flickering. I'm still working with that. I think it's reflecting off my glasses, actually. Who knows? Okay, so why does this work? People who care about the benefit of access to you dislike delays. Okay? So if they only care about what you can do for them, then they don't respect when you don't jump when they ring their bell. Okay? They expect you to jump. Number 5, the mild disagreement test. What you do. Okay? This is what you do. Express a gentle difference of opinion. This is a mild disagreement test. Remember, you're not trying to push buttons and start an argument. These are tests so that you can decide how far you let your boundaries down and trust people. An example of this is, I see it a little differently than you. Or, that hasn't been my experience. Something like that. Just a gentle difference of opinion. Feel it out, okay? And what to watch for. A healthy response is curiosity and respect. Oh, that's interesting. I'd like to know what your side of the story is, or your opinion is on that, or, somebody will respect that you have a difference of opinion. A yellow flag is defensiveness. Like, oh, are you trying to say that I'm wrong? Something like that. And a red flag is dismissal altogether. Don't want to hear it. No, I don't care if you got a different opinion. Subtle shaming, rewriting your reality. So like trying to make their opinion fit into your reality, or trying to say that your reality, you're not in reality, and that's why your opinion's different. Okay, stuff like that. And why this works? Well, safe people don't need you to agree with them to stay connected. Okay? They're not always right, and they know it, and that's okay with them. All right. Number 6, the help with limits test. This was a tough one for me. Now, what you do, accept or ask for very small help, but it has to have clear limits to it, okay? An example would be, if you're already going to the store, could you grab some milk? I'll send you the right amount of money. Okay? Now, this is what you watch for. A healthy response, obviously if they can do that, would be to stick to the agreement. Absolutely, I'll grab it. A yellow flag would be someone adds extras to it and still expects you to pay for it. Oh, this was on sale, so I grabbed that for you too while we were there. Okay? Add it on. Or doesn't necessarily ask you to pay for it, but just adds it on and says, don't worry about it. All right? It didn't stick to the agreement. So that's a yellow flag. A red flag, this is what I got a lot. Overdoing it. Keeping score. Referencing it later. A good example, I borrowed some money from somebody. I knew exactly how much I needed. It wasn't very much. And that's all I asked to borrow. Then they sent me twice the amount. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? I can't pay that back. I didn't ask for that much. And they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then I don't know, it's probably a couple months later, they referenced it. Well, you should do this. Well, I think you should do that because, well, what about the money you owe me? Excuse me, I didn't ask you for that much money. I told you I couldn't afford to pay back that much money, and you gave it to me anyway. And now there's strings attached. Now you think you're going to run my life and tell me what I need to do in order to pay that back. See what I mean? And why this works? Well, this identifies people who use generosity for leverage. All right? Gifts always have strings attached. It's not a gift if it has strings attached. Okay? If they feel like you owe them now because they gave you this even though you didn't ask for it, that's a string that's attached. And so that's a good way to find out if you can trust somebody. The help with limits test. All right. Now, number 7, and this is the last one that was recommended to me through my dreams, my intentional dreams. I asked for this and through my dream, and then my dream was interpreted through my dream library. That if you go to my page, to the post section, there is a prompt. I keep forgetting that word for some reason. There's a prompt in the post section that you can copy and paste, put it in your chat GPT, and that will automatically build a dream library that's personal to you. And every time you have a dream interpreted by chat, not only will it use your dream library, but if there's new symbols or new revised meanings for symbols already in there, it will update that and it'll keep it fresh and personal to you. So the more you use it, the more personal and the more accurate it becomes. Next thing you know, you having dreams, you tell chat, this was my dream, and it says, this is what it means for you. And you get good messages. So this message for me, although it was personal, I thought that there are so many people I know that could use this information. So I'm sharing this little part of it with you. So number 7 was the silence test. And what you do is you don't fill pauses. Don't explain yourself. Don't feel like you always have to be keeping the conversation going. It's okay to be silent and just enjoy each other's silence. Okay? Now what you watch for, a healthy response, is comfort with that silence. It's okay. You don't have to always be talking. Okay? A yellow flag would be nervous chatter. Somebody just has to keep talking and can't stand the silence. All right? A red flag, probes, assumptions, narrative building. Accuse your silence as hiding something. Okay? How come you're so quiet? What are you thinking about? How come? See what I mean? Okay. So why this works? Well, people who rush to fill silence often rush to fill stories too. Yeah. Which probably relates back to the people who are lying about you. Now, I'm sure as I read some of those, if you are one of those people this message is for, I know when I was reading these things, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened with so-and-so. And oh geez, yep, so-and-so really did that all the time. And each one that get listed off, I'm like, check, check, check. So how do you read these results? Now, as you noticed, each one of these had a healthy reaction, a yellow flag, and a red flag. Okay? So how you read these results? One red flag doesn't equal cut them off. I mean, you do you. If you want to be that straight, fine, cut them off. However, what this whole idea is to collect data, okay? Repeat patterns are information. They might do one of these red flags once, but then when you test it again later, another day, they don't react that way. We all have days that suck, and sometimes if we're hanging out with somebody else that's like that, then they come and hang out with you, they're already in that energy, they may react that way. So test it a couple of times. If you get a red flag on one, test that one test again another day and see if it's still a red flag response. Okay? That's all information. Collect some information till it's the point where you're comfortable making a decision. Yeah, I keep seeing that same red flag over and over and over. Then obviously that's not going to change. Okay? But if that red flag only showed up once and it hasn't shown up again, then maybe that was just the day they were having. Okay? So trust builds when boundaries are respected consistently. All right? Your nervous system feels quieter, not sharper. Your nervous system, when it's around these people and it's not on edge, it's not like trying to figure out, are they lying to me? What are they doing? Like, if you just relax into it, your nervous system relax, trust that. It's okay. Okay, that's your nervous system telling you something. And you don't feel the need to rehearse or explain yourself afterwards. You don't have to, before you meet these people, go, okay, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? What am I going to say? What if he says this? What if they say that? How am I going to respond to that? If you feel that you have to rehearse your experience with somebody before you meet up with them, that's a pretty good indication. Okay? So, important notes. You are not broken for having strong walls. Okay? Your system adapted to inconsistency and misrepresentation over long periods of time. That wall got built brick by brick, stone by stone. Okay? You're not broken. You just learn to build walls with the stones they threw at you. That's okay. All right? The goal now is selective permeability. Okay? Not full exposure. You're not crashing down the wall and exposing all. All right, come beat me up. I'm open now. That's not the goal here. The goal here now is to maybe put some windows in that wall to start with, so that you can ask these questions, so that you can feel it out. And the safer you feel, maybe you can put a door in that wall. Then maybe you can let them in that door. Maybe you close the freaking door and pull up the drawbridge. You decide. But this is a way, with these 7 trust tests, that you can confidently know that you're making the right decision when you either let somebody in more or close that damn door. Okay? Because I know before having trust tests like this that I could rely on, it's like, oh, how do I trust them? I don't know if I can trust them. I don't know if they're lying to me. I don't know if they're... How about you do know now? Okay? So, a good grounding sentence that you can internally ask yourself or let yourself know. This is just to keep you in the it's okay frame of mind. And that is, I don't have to decide trust today. I can collect the data first. Okay? You don't have to decide the first time you meet somebody whether you trust them or not. I mean, some of us can't. I mean, there are some people you come across and you just know that you know that you know. You get that feeling. It's like, oh God, you can see the BS just pouring out of them. All right, obviously, I mean, when you know, you know. But if you're up in the air about somebody, or if you want to trust somebody, but of course your walls are right up and you're like, I don't know whether or whether, you don't have to decide right now. Just collect the data. Do the trust test over a course of time. Okay? Then you'll know. The answers will show you. I hope this helped you. I know it's helped me, which is why I'm sharing it with you. And a reminder that came from intentional dreaming. So if you're new here, go watch some of my other videos. I talk about intentional dreaming. I've shared a few. I do some intentional dreaming specifically with questions about worldly things that I think other people would like to know the answers to. This one was a personal one, but turned out I thought the part of the answer was very important for other people, because I know I'm not the only one that's dealing with trust issues. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Share if you think someone else can take advantage of this information. Absolutely share it. And we'll catch you later. You are much appreciated here, and you are safe in my space. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.